So guys, our next speaker is Luwam. Luwam's a life coach, and I've actually heard Luwam speak last year, and she's a very good speaker, and I've gained a lot of advice from her. So hopefully you learn something that will help you attain your goals. So over to you, Luwam.
Thank you so much, Mickey, and thank you to all the speakers, Feben, and you guys were amazing. And you know what you was telling and your experiences, you learn from a role model. You know, you learn from people who've gone before you, because that's what's going to help you avoid the mistakes or save time. So all of you guys, thank you so much for everything that you said, and FNAN, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak to the future generation and impart a little bit of what I've learned and what I've experienced so far. If it's okay, I've got a little presentation ready for you guys, a little slideshow, so I'm just going to share my screen and let me know if you can see it. Perfect, you guys can see it. Okay, so today what I wanted to talk to you guys about is about having the mindset to succeed, because you're all at a juncture in your life where you're taking the next step. So whether it's going to college, whether it's going to do your A-levels, whether it's going to university or starting your job, our mindset is the crucial bit that's going to help us whether we're going to succeed or whether something's going to hold us back. So who you say you are, you become, because basically, like Feben was saying, your mindset is very crucial. And if you tell yourself you are a winner, what's going to happen? You're going to be a winner, right? If you tell yourself you're a leader, you're going to be a leader. If you tell yourself that I'm not confident, I'm not sure about this, that's what's going to happen, is you're going to start doubting yourself. So before you start anything going forward in your life, I want you to get an empowering belief about who you are and who you want to be, because what you say to yourself, you're going to, that's the action you're going to take, because that's what your brain's going to focus on. If I say to myself that I'm going to be, for example, if I'm in athletics and I want to be play in the Olympics, and I say, okay, I'm going to be an Olympian winner, like a gold medalist, what's going to happen? All my actions going forward are going to be taking me towards that direction, right? But then if I say to myself, oh no, I'm so lazy, I just can't be bothered, I'm just going to settle for what's there, what's going to happen? That's what I'm going to do, right? So going forward, I want you to be very, very careful on how you describe who you are as a person, on how you, when people ask you who are you, I want you to say, I'm somebody amazing, a leader, somebody who achieves their dream, because that's really, really crucial, okay? So all of you guys here, you guys have come from such an amazing background, being who we are, that we've got that quality where you want to help, you want to lead, you want to go forward, right? So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about leadership, because I know in this room there's going to be a lot of leaders, if not all of you. I know you guys are all going to go there and make an impact in the world, because you've got all the tools, you've got the support, you've got FNAN backing you up. I mean, come on guys, I wish I had, like people were saying, I wish I had FNAN, when I was going through university. I wish I had this community that we have, and you guys do. So now I'm expecting a lot of stuff from you guys to go there and to create something incredible. So leadership. So what does leadership stand for? So, first of all, you have to lead yourself first before you lead others. In terms of you have to push yourself to be the best version of yourself. You have to be, leading, looking forward all the time before telling other people what to do. You have to lead by example, okay? And you have to also be careful about your energy. Energy is not from food, energy is from brain. So what are you putting into your brain? What are you watching, on social media? What are you looking at? On TV, what are you reading? So what is it that you're feeding your brain? What are you focusing on going forward? Because that's really important, because that's what's going to help you get to where you want to go to. You have to be an action taker. You can't just sit here and expect the world to give it to you. You have to be out there creating the future that you want to create, because guess what? That's who you are. You are a leader, and leaders have to move forward. You can't stay stuck and lead other people, right? You have to be what others don't want to do. To be a leader, not everyone's going to take the path that's the hardest, but leaders have to, because why? They're the ones that are going to get to the end. They're the ones who set the example. They're the ones that people want to follow, right? And that's who you are. And you have to be able to face problems when they come up. You have to be able to eliminate them, and you have to also expect them, because life is not straight. You're going to get challenges, you're going to get issues, you're going to get difficulties. It could be friendship issues, it could be issues with the teachers or your lecturers, it could be an issue during an interview. Whatever it is, you might face some problems. So just be ready for them and be able to tackle them confidently and with positivity and with intention that you can manage anything that's put in front of you. Okay? And make sure that in whatever that you do, add value. In any conversations that you have with other people, you're going to be meeting so many new people because you're going into a new part of your life, right? So all the friends that you're making, try and add value to those conversations. Be present, be completely there, and listen to what they're saying, because people like to be heard, right? And that's one skill that I've learned the most through this journey that I've been taking, is truly being present in the moment and actually really listening to what people are saying. That's the biggest gift you can give anyone. So add value, listen to them, and try and help, and try and bring solutions or do anything that you think that will help them move forward. And you have to sacrifice your time, because guess what? Your vision needs time. If you want to achieve your goal, if you want to be successful, it's going to take time. You can't expect to put a little bit of time and effort and expect to get to where you want to get to. So, give it 100%. Wake up early. That early time is the best time to achieve what you want to achieve. Like, spend time focusing on yourself, meditating, doing some personal development, listening to things that are going to help you go forward, like, getting yourself clear and then doing it. Because the more time you put in now, the less time you have to put on when you're older, because that's when you're going to be successful, right? Stay humble as well. That's really important. No one likes a show off, right? Stay humble, stay grounded, because the more knowledge that you have, the less ego that you have, right? And become an inspirer. Just show people, the people around you, let them learn from you, inspire them, show them how amazing you are and what you can achieve, and inspire them to be the best version of themselves. And lastly, being a leader is about having the people around you, supporting the people around you, and giving. It's not about what I can get from that person. It's not about, how can I take advantage of the situation? It's not. It's about, what can I give to this person? How can I add value? How can I be a better version of myself, right? So leadership qualities, what are they? What are the main qualities that you guys are going to need? Is you have to, especially with everything that's going on at the moment, we can sit here and think, oh my gosh, everything's going wrong. Life is happening to me. It's like everything, I can't go to school, exams are messed up, etc., etc. So we can focus on the stuff that's being negative and that's going wrong, right? But yeah, so there is a pandemic. So yes, we are, the way we live has completely changed. But don't look at it as worse than it is. Try and find the positive behind it. Try and look at what's the good that can come out of this. Be the kind of person that takes advantage of a negative situation and makes it into something amazing. Because everybody's going through it, but how you look at it and how you make the people around you feel is going to dictate what you're going to achieve going forward. So you have to see it as better than it is. Because when you see something better than it is, then you have to make a way to achieve that. As a leader, if you see something better, you're like, oh, okay, I see this better, so how can I make that better? And that's what's going to help you become the leader that you want to be. So I want to go through some success formulas for you guys, because you're all starting out, you're all taking the next step. Okay, so there's 4 steps that you have to be really clear about and implement in your day-to-day and in everything you have to do. So the first thing that's really, really important is you have to be clear on what is it that you want. Yes, I know sometimes at this age, it's really difficult to know what it is that you want to do in 20 years' time. I get that, right? But you can still be clear about, in the next year, what is it that you want to achieve? In the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, what is it that you want to achieve? Feben had like a great idea about, thinking of yourself in 5 years after you're successful and writing a letter to yourself right now. So that's, clarity is power. Because, for example, you don't get in a car, so you have to go somewhere, you don't know where you're going, right? But you have an idea, you know where you want to go to someone's house, for example, you've never been there, you have the address, but you don't know how to get there. So what do? You don't just get in the car and just drive around hoping you're going to get there, do you? No, you put it in the sat nav, you put the postcode, the address where you want to go. So now you have a clear direction and a focus of where you want to end up. But then what's going to happen is, if there is any roadworks, what's going to happen? The sat nav is going to recalibrate and it's going to take you to where you want to go to. And it's the same thing in your life. If you have a clear idea and a clear destination, no matter what happens in between, you're still going to, pivot and change around and move around to get to where you want to get to. So, and sometimes it's actually easier to figure out what is it that you don't want, to help you realize what it is that you want, because it's on the other side. So you might say, you know what, I don't want to get a really bad grade for my university, right? But then that means you're going to want to get a great grade, so you're going to have to work hard towards it. So always know what is it, be clear on what it is you want to get. So university, what grade do you want to get? I don't want you to go into uni and say, I'm just going to get a degree. No. Okay, what kind of degree do you want to get? Do you want to get a first? Is that what your aim is? Because if that's your aim, the way you're going to work towards it is going to be completely different if your aim is just to pass. What kind of a job do you want to get? Do you want to get just a normal job, or do you want to get like an amazing job? Okay, then what does your CV need to look like? Do you see? So like once you know where you're going, then you can make sure that you have all the stepping stones that you need to go over to get to the goal that you want to get to. And in any circumstances, anywhere that you are, even if it's like with friendships, start thinking, what is my outcome in this situation? Even something simple like going to see a friend. If you start thinking, what is my outcome in seeing my friend? It could be to go out and have fun. Now that you know you're going there to have fun, you are going to have fun instead of just turning up and hoping something is going to happen, right? So if you're clear about what your outcome is that you want, you will make sure it happens. And second step is you have to decide and you have to take action. Now that you know where you want to get to, like Simon was saying, for example, you wanted to get to a really good job. So what is it that you're going to do? The interviews you're going to go to. What are the jobs you're going to apply for? What are the positions you're going to apply for? So that's clear now that you know what it is. You have to take action. Sometimes it's scary taking uncomfortable action, but you know what? You have to do it because that's what leaders do. That's what strong people do. And if you tried and you failed, it's okay, because now you know what doesn't work. So you got an education from it, right? Just because something didn't work out does not mean you give up. You learn from it and then you do it better the next time. So you have to decide that you're not going to just settle for what it is. You're not just going to go through life thinking, yeah, this is what's going to happen. Like, have a plan. The most successful people, the people that are out there that are crushing it and at the top of at the top of their career or at the top of their business, they're the ones that knew where they were going and made sure that they got there. Not the ones that just let, you don't just go into the ocean and just let the wave take you where it wants to take you, right? You have to have a clear destination and get there. And you have to demand more from yourself than anyone else. Because guess what? It's your life. What other people are expecting from you makes no difference. Your parents could have this massive expectation from you. Your friends could have an expectation from you. That's not the important thing. The important thing is the expectation you have of yourself, because you are the driving force. You're the one who's going to make your life happen and your future happen, right? And you have to face fear. Sometimes things can be scary. It's okay. Face them, but take action in spite of them. Courage is having fear. Courage is not having fear. Courage is actually having fear and doing it in spite of that fear. So it's okay. And then third step that you have to do is you have to stop and then you have to check, okay, I've done X, Y, Z. What are the results that I have? What are the results I'm getting? I've done all these things. Where am I? Am I closer to my goal or am I way off course? If that's the case, then you can bring yourself back. If you are getting closer to your goal, then you know you're doing something right. So you're going to keep doing it, right? So, but you never ever give up. That's the main thing. No matter what happens, you never ever give up. Because, by thinking that you're going to fail or you're not going to get there, that's the ultimate failure. So you never ever give up. And then the last part of, your formula to becoming successful is be flexible. Simon was saying earlier on, he had this idea of the subjects he wanted to study to get to where he wanted to get to, but then he had to drop one of the subjects because that wasn't working. And that's what flexibility is about. I know that when you go to uni, you have this idea that you have to do X, Y, Z. I wanted to be a lawyer when I was younger. So I thought, okay, I have to do a law degree, even though that wasn't my favorite subject when I did A-levels. But I thought, okay, I have to be a lawyer, so I have to do a law degree. But in hindsight, I wish I had done another degree like maths, which I absolutely enjoyed, because I would have got a much better grade from doing maths than I would from doing law. And as that happens, I didn't become a lawyer. I actually became a stockbroker, even though I did a law degree. So you have to be flexible. Your life is not set in stone. The decisions you make now are not going to be the same forever, but they're the ones that are going to get you. So if something's not working, change it, pivot, move around, keep changing it until you succeed, but just never give up. Like, when a baby's walking, a baby tries to walk out, and you see how many times they fall over, right? But they don't just, after they fall about 5, 6 times, they don't turn around and say, that's it. I'm not walking, I'm crawling. Have you ever seen a crawling adult? No. Because why? You always try until you get to it and you start walking, right? Like a baby walks, we all walk. And that's the same thing with your life. Keep trying and you will get there. So now that we've got the formula of what it is that you want to do, how are we going to speed it up? It's like having a role model. I think that is so crucial. I wish I had known this before. Because seeing somebody who's achieved what you want to achieve, who's walked the path that you want to walk, really gives you confidence. It makes you believe in yourself. It makes you know that it's something that's actually possible. It also speeds up the time. It also helps. It helps you avoid the mistakes that they made, and it speeds up your process, right? And it saves you time. It saves you energy. Because why? It's given you a framework of what to look at. So whatever profession you want to get into, I want you to research on who's at the top of that profession, whatever angle you want to go. If you want to be a mathematician, if you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is, find a role model, okay? And then see what it is that they did to get to where they want to get to. It saves you having to investigate and try and check this out and do this and do that. Because now success leaves clues. So all you have to do is just follow those breadcrumbs that they've thrown for you, and you will get there as well. So make sure you get a role model who will inspire you and who will help you get to where you need to get to. For now, we've got like some great mentors that they have on board, right? So talk to them, collaborate with them, or become one yourself and help somebody who is younger than you to get to where you want to go to. And the thing is, just because you go into university and just because you've got the knowledge does not mean you have the power. It's potential power. What you do with that knowledge, what you do with what you've learned from that person, from your role model, that's the key to what's going to get you to where you want to get to. Okay? So my advice to you is don't fear failure. Make it your best friend, because guess what? It's when we fail is when we grow. When you fail, you know that you have to do something different and you're going to go to the next step. If you get it right the first time round, you're not going to appreciate it, right? Like, for example, let's take Walt Disney. How many times did he get rejected when he went to the bank to get a loan? He got rejected over 100 times. So now tell me, how many of you would go through that rejection, be rejected 100 times over 100 times before you get that yes? And look how successful he is now. If you read the biographies of all these successful people, you can see that their journey started with hardship. Their journey started with failure. But it's that dedication, it's that drive to make sure that you get to the top. That's what gets you there. So it's impossible to fail. It's just a lesson. Failure is just feedback to do it differently. And always remember that no matter what happens, even if you get a bad grade at college or if you get a bad grade at university, it's okay. It's just feedback. It's just telling you to look at it in a different way or to try harder the next time. Okay? So what are the secrets to extraordinary life? Because now you guys know how you're going to be successful. So to take it to the next level, what do you have to do? So you have to raise your standards. You have to turn your shoulds into musts. You know, you could be saying, yeah, I should be studying to get a first if I want to get. No, you must study to get a first. So everything that you are saying, I should do this, I should be doing this, but I'm not doing it. If you want to be amazing, if you want to be successful, change it into a must. And that's what's going to get you to the next level. Okay? So those that have extraordinary life, what have they done? They have raised their standards. So what you get rewarded in public is for what you practice at home. You know, the hours that you spend at home revising is what's going to get you the grade. The hours you spend practicing your skills, like whether it's football, basketball, any sport that you do, the time you spend at home is what's going to make you more successful when you're on the pitch, right? People like Michael Jordan, how much practice do you think he did to get to where he is? You know, like right now, he just like dunks it and it went in, right? But then how long did you think, how many shots at home would you think that he had to do to get to where he is? So make sure that you spend some time perfecting everything that you want to do and dedicate it. And also every day, demand more from yourself than anyone else can possibly expect. Because like I was telling you earlier on, you're the driving force. You are the one who's going to get you to where you want to get to. Not other people's expectation, your expectation of yourself. And that's what you have to keep thinking about and driving you forward. Okay? So every day compete with what you're capable of and not some other people. Don't compare your results. Everybody's going on their journey. Everybody's got their own struggles. Everybody's got some issues that you have no idea about, right? So don't compare yourself to anyone else. This is your life, your path, your future. What other people are doing around you makes no difference. You put 100% in, that's all that you want to focus on. It doesn't matter what the other people are doing. And courage is like saying, I'm going to try. You're going to keep trying and trying, even if it doesn't work, and keep going. Okay? So lastly, I just want to go through the different levels of standards, because, you know, sometimes we just, at this age, even when I was younger, even until recently, I just thought like you have one standard of doing things, you know, like you put, you know, some people put a little bit more effort in, some people put a lot of effort in, and then they get the results, right? So let's break it down and see what kind of standard that you need to put going forward to get to where you want to get to. So if you put in poor standard, that's the lowest one, that's the poor standard, that's the lowest level. So you don't care. You're not going to make an effort, you're not going to put any energy into what you're doing, so what are you going to get? You're going to get poor grades, you're going to end up with a poor job, poor relationship, and then you would just like settle for whatever life brings. It's like, oh yeah, well, this is my life, it's, you know, I don't need to try it, that's who you are. But nowadays, what happens when you put in poor standard? You know, what's your result? You end up with a painful life, right? So poor standard gets you painful life. Second level, and that's like, this is the next level up. And this is a giant step from poor, you know, like you put on good, something, you know, I'm doing good, I'm going to be good. You know, society expects us, teaches us to be good, like be a good citizen, be a good student, be a good father, a parent, be a good child, be good. But good, what's good? Good is like average, right? We're not average. You guys are not here to be average. You know, what happens with good standards nowadays? In the old days, good worked. But now, with everything, with all the competition, good does not work. So what do you get with good? Good only gives you poor rewards. So that's not what we want. So the next step from that is what? Excellent, right? So when you go into excellence, what does that mean? You're not going to settle for good. You're going to work hard, right? So if your standard is excellence, you're going to be revising. You are going to, you know, try and get your A's. You're gonna push forward. And a lot of the time you will get to where you want to get to, but things are different. There's a lot of competition, right? There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of different things happening. So even if you're just giving an excellent, what's the result you're going to get? You're just going to get good rewards. And I'm sorry, we're not here for good rewards, are we? No, because you guys are here to be amazing. So what do you have to do to be amazing? You have to go this one last level. So even if you think you've given your best, what's the last level? Outstanding. That is the level that we operate on. Right? That's why you guys are here. That's why FNAN was created, to make you all outstanding. Outstanding is not that much higher than excellent, right? So like Okay, do an exercise with me, okay? So now I want you guys to play full out. I want you to raise both hands up as high as you can. Okay, so I want you all to kind of put it as high as you can. Okay, good. So now I want you to just put just that little bit higher. Come on, you've got a little bit more. Just that little bit more. And that's what I'm talking about. That little extra 2 millimeter that you put in, that's what's going to make you stand out from the crowd. You know, other people are going to stop there. When I say, you know, put your hand up, everybody did that. But that little extra, that little extra bit that you gave, that's what's going to change your life. That's what's going to make you a leader. That's what's going to make you outstanding. So always try and remember, what's that little 2 millimeter that I can give in my life, whether it's in my relationship, whether it's in my education, whether it's in my job, whether it's in my interview. What is that little extra that I can give that's going to make me stand out from the crowd? Because guess what? That's what's going to make you successful, nothing else. That extra 2 millimeter. So always remember that. I mean, I know people who've got like 2 millimeter tattooed on them. I'm not going to go that far, but I just have a reminder that to be outstanding, it's not that much more than excellent, and you can do it. Just have to focus on it, and you just have to try. And that, my guys, my friends, my people, that's what's going to make you the best version of yourself, and that's what's going to take you to the next level. That's what's going to get you from the 2-1 to the first. That's what's going to get you from getting a job at NatWest to getting a job at Deutsche. Whatever, that's what's going to get you to the next level. Okay, so outstanding gets you excellent rewards. And I want you to change "I can't do this" to a must. So you have to make a decision today with us, like you here, right? You've taken your Saturday afternoon to be here, so please, just I beg you, make the decision to be outstanding in everything that you do. I want you to stretch yourself. I want you to push yourself beyond what's comfortable. Feben showed you that, the comfort zone and the growth zone. I want you to go to the growth zone. I want you to push yourself to that little bit more to be outstanding in what you do. Because that's where you're going to get the result. That's where the gold is. Okay? So, in summary, I just want you going forward. I want you to be clear on what is it that you want. What do you want to achieve in your life? Okay? Where do you want to be in 1 year, in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? As humans, we overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year, but we underestimate what we can do in 5 to 10 years. So now we need to go forward and start thinking, visualize the life that you want to build. Have a clear vision of who you want to be as a person. What is the impact you want to have? What is the life? Do you want to be an inspirer? Do you want to be a leader? So what does that look like? What kind of house are you going to have? What kind of car are you going to drive? What kind of relationship are you going to build with your family, with your parents, with your children, with your friends? Be really clear. Start thinking about it now, because guess what? What you show your brain's going to follow, and it's going to make it happen, because that's where your brain's going to go. If your brain doesn't know where it's going, it's just going to go everywhere, right? So you have to activate your reticular activation system to start finding the opportunities that is going to take you to where you want to be. Take massive action, not little action. We are outstanding. Outstanding, don't just dabble. We take huge action, right? Notice what's working and keep doing it. If something's not working, that's okay. Keep changing it a little bit until you become successful, because that's the key. Model successful people. Get a role model that inspires you, that shows you the way, that's going to save you the time that you spent, that's going to get you there quicker, that's going to help you and help you become that successful person that you are meant to be. Don't fear failure. Failure is just feedback. It will get you there quicker. Okay? And lastly, work on your personal development. I wish I had known about personal development when I was when I was younger. I had no idea about that. You guys have the gift of knowing the secret, because a lot of people have, which we don't always have. Personal development is actually feeding your brain, feeding your soul, feeding yourself to become a better version of yourself. It's like, understanding your mindset and getting that amazing, unstoppable mindset that you can get to become incredible. And lastly, always, always remember to be outstanding, because that's who you are, as we are as a community, and go be out there and become outstanding and become the leaders that I know you guys can be in whatever industry, in whatever you want to do. And thank you so much for all your listening to me. And if you guys need any support, anything, those are my contact details. Fanan's got my details as well. If you guys need any help, please just say so. So thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Luwam. That was very encouraging and motivating. And I'm pretty sure everyone's learned something, and there's so many things to apply to our lives from that. And yeah, guys.